You've been told that if you keep your head down and work hard, you'll get promoted. That is a lie. In elite careers, execution is just the baseline. To bridge the gap from manager to director, you have to stop doing and start advocating. Today, we're breaking down the unspoken rules from a Harvard coach, a $100 million CEO, and an Amazon VP. You'll learn the magic loop, the tree in the forest principle, and exactly how to escape the execution spiral.
You ever have that feeling at work? You're doing everything right, you're hitting your deadlines, your work is solid, but you just keep getting passed over for promotions? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into the unspoken rules of getting ahead. This is the playbook that goes way beyond just working hard. We've all heard this, right? It's the classic advice. It's this promise that if you just do great work, the recognition, the promotions, they'll all just follow. It's what we're taught to believe is the absolute foundation of a successful career. But what if you've been putting your head down, you've been doing the work, and it feels like it's just not speaking loud enough? What if the game you think you're playing isn't actually the one that leads to that next big step? Okay, let's get right into this. The first thing you have to understand is that hard work, that's just the price of admission. It gets you in the door, but it is not the winning ticket. The real rules for getting ahead, they're often hidden in plain sight. This analogy from career advisor Gorick just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that feeling of trying your absolute best, but using totally the wrong tools for the job. You're out there, you're swinging for the fences, but it's not working because you're playing a different sport than everyone else who's getting ahead. And that brings us to this core idea, the unspoken rules. Think of them like the informal playbook for your career. It's all about how you communicate, who you build relationships with, and how you make your value visible. It's all the stuff that's never, ever in your job description, but is absolutely critical for getting noticed. So this leads to the first huge shift you've got to make. It's about fundamentally changing how you see your role. You have to move from being just an executor, someone who does tasks, to becoming an advocate for your work. I mean, this is the whole thing, isn't it? As CEO Leila Hormozi puts it, if you do absolutely phenomenal work, but no one with decision-making power knows about it, from their perspective, it might as well have never happened. Your impact is only as big as its visibility. And here's what that looks like in action. An executor thinks, okay, if I just master this one technical skill, I'll get promoted. But honestly, that just makes you better at your current job. The advocate, on the other hand, understands that to become a leader, they need to communicate their value, provide visibility, and build those leadership skills. You have to stop just doing your old job and start actively preparing for the next one. And hey, there's data to back this up. One study found that employees who are constantly advocating for their own ideas are a whopping 32% more likely to even be considered for a promotion. And why is that? It's simple. Your managers can't read your mind. If you don't share your great ideas, they have no idea you even have them. Now, let's be super clear. This is not about bragging. It's about strategic communication. You want to make it easy, I mean, really easy, for your boss to see your value. Send those detailed updates. Go into your one-on-ones ready to share your progress. Push your insights forward. These are the things that show you have that executive presence. Okay, so you get it. You need to be an advocate, but how do you actually do that without coming across as annoying or, totally self-serving? Well, this next framework gives you a clear step-by-step process for turning your manager into your biggest champion. This is called the magic loop, and it comes from former Amazon VP Ethan Evans. It's simple. You start by just crushing your current job. Then you proactively ask your boss, how can I help you? And then you do it. Once you've built that trust, you can connect their needs with your own career goals. It's a simple process that transforms your relationship from just transactional to a real partnership. And this is why it's just so powerful. It's based on a really simple principle of human nature, right? People help those who help them. You're creating a win-win situation. When you invest in your manager's success, they naturally want to invest in yours. It just works. So, once you've mastered advocating for your work and you're partnering with your manager, it is time to elevate your whole perspective. And this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Getting promoted to senior levels isn't just about doing your job differently, it's about thinking differently. You have to start playing an entirely new game. As executive coach, Dr. Grace Lee points out, the very skills that make you an amazing manager, like supervising your team, executing processes, are often the opposite of what's needed at the director level. The whole game board changes, and if you don't change your strategy, you're going to get left behind. Just look at the shift in focus here. A manager's world is their direct team. But a director has to influence people across the entire organization, people who don't even report to them. You go from just following established processes to defining what excellence looks like in the future. It's a huge change from telling people what to do to mentoring them on how to think strategically. And this contrast shows the real mindset shift you need. It is so easy to get caught in what's called the reactive execution spiral. You're just constantly putting out fires, repairing problems, but a real leader's job is to prepare. They pull the future into the present, they anticipate challenges, and they proactively schedule their priorities instead of just reacting to the chaos of the day. So what this all comes down to is this. Your goal isn't just to be the best at your current job. Your goal is to prove you're already capable of performing at the next level. Every project, every meeting, every single update is a chance to show that future potential. So as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with this question. This isn't about changing everything overnight. But based on what we've talked about, what is one concrete action you can take this week to be more of an advocate for your work and start playing the promotion game you actually want to win?
Got boosted? Feeling inspired? Brain still hungry? Here are some booster for you.